Good day. Thank you for joining us for our video today. My name is Brian Cockell. Hi, this is my wife, Brenda.
Hello.
And as part of our series, starting a home-based business or a small business, today's video is on how to start a website and get an online store up and running for yourself. So it's a very comprehensive video, and it's going to teach you from start to finish how to make an online store. Now, it is a little longer in the video, so if you do want to change your settings in YouTube, you can. And you can go ahead and hit the settings button, and then you can increase the speed to 1.25 times or 1.5 times if you want to go through a little quicker, or if I'm talking too slow. So on today's video, it's recommended that you follow along either with the sample template or actually create your own website and online store as we're going. So comprehensive start to finish, and you'll be up and running and selling your products by the time we're done. So let's get right into it. Okay, thank you for joining me today. That's great. So we're going to do a full tutorial on Shopify. Now, if you haven't decided on who your e-commerce provider is going to be, I do have a prior video to this one that looks like this. And you can find that on the channel, and it will go through all of the best choices that you have, narrowing them down to the top 3, with a 4th kind of honorary mention. So if you're looking to blog, have a website, and have an e-commerce store, an online store, Shopify is not the one you want. You can't really set a website up with Shopify. You do a little bit of blogging, but not you don't get all 3. So if your sole purpose is to have a Shopify online store, or just an online e-commerce store, Shopify is absolutely the one you want, and that's the tutorial we're going to go through. If not, go look at that other video, and it'll help you make the choice of which the best one actually is for your application. And then I also have training videos on all of the other options as well. So, consider that if Shopify is not the one that you've chosen. If you have chosen Shopify and you're ready to get going, we'll get right into it. Now, you can click the link down below the video, and that will take you into Shopify to get you set up. Or if you're already set up, you're going to go to this screen right here. And this is the screen to start a free trial. And then, of course, from there to actually get yourself set up with an account in order to purchase the right package for your business. All right. So if you can get yourself to this screen, that's great. And if you already have an account, you can just go ahead and log in, and then we'll start from there. So start a free trial. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and enter the email address I'm going to use. And then once your email's in there, you're just simply going to go ahead and hit the Start Now or Start Free Trial, which is right there. All right, so go ahead and take that step. Now, they're going to ask you to put a password in, and you want to have a strong password, and you should try and have a password with a couple capitals, a couple numbers, a couple letters, and even a special character. Okay, so go ahead and set your password. And once your password is set, you are going to want to go ahead and put your store name in. So if you're just considering a business, doing this for learning purposes, not quite ready yet with the store name, go ahead and put any name in there. Cats are us, whatever you want. But if you do have a store name, go ahead and put your store name in. And my store name is Lifegevity Soap Company, which is a online store that I already run, making all natural skincare products. So email, password, your company name, and go ahead and hit Create Store. Okay, once that's complete, the next screen they're going to take you to is a little bit of a questionnaire. Now, go ahead and fill this questionnaire out, which is applicable to your circumstance, okay? And, this is going to help Shopify decide what some of the tutorial sections look like for you, and some of the initial things that they do set up ahead of time without you having to do it yourself. So simply go ahead. Are you already selling? For example, if you are, hit yes. I'm just playing around. I'm selling products. I'm not selling products yet. I'm selling just online. I sell the different system. So go ahead and choose your best choice for each one of these selections, and that will be good to get us started. So how do you sell online? How do you want to sell? For me, I sell online and in person. Where will you most likely sell? At markets and fairs, is at pop-up markets. That's where we sell. What is your current revenue? And here's a choice here, give you a range. So if you're new to business, you're probably going to hit the nothing. Or if you're just starting, up to 5,000, go ahead and put the revenue in that you're currently achieving, and then that's going to give them the last bit of information that they need. Okay. Okay, and which industry will you be operating in? And that's an important one. So for me, it's beauty. If you're selling, jewelry, go ahead and click jewelry. If it's photography you're doing, toys you're doing, a service you're offering, go ahead and pick the one that's the best fit for you. And that will be all the questions we have. So once you've completed that, you're going to go ahead and hit the little next button down the bottom right-hand corner. I don't think that's behind me. Yep. And then simply answer the questions and go ahead and hit next to get us to our second last section. Now this section here, and add an address so you can get paid. So obviously if you're starting an online store, an e-commerce store, you're going to want to have some cash sent to you. So put all your personal information in here. And once you've entered that information, of course, you're going to go to the bottom right again and hit enter my store. So let's do that now. Okay, once you are in your store, there's a couple things you're going to notice. So first thing is on the center of the screen, just near the top, you're going to see this, your trial just started, select a plan. We're not going to select a plan yet. You certainly could go ahead and do that. But for this training purposes, we're not going to do that. However, we are going to go and look at those plans in a little bit. So first thing you want to do when you're in here is you want to understand your real estate on the screen and what everything means to you and what you do and how you do it. And that's why we're here, right? So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at all of these items over here on the left-hand side, okay? And this is really, where the strength of Shopify is, where you're going to do most of your work. And then as we go through that, we're going to take a quick look and learn which each one does. And then we're actually going to go through and tailor this store to make it our own. Okay, so that's the next step, right? All right, so let's take a look at our screen and what we have here. So on the left-hand side, we're going to look through all of these items up here, okay, and just understand what they're about. And then we're going to take a quick look over in the center here and just see what our options are as we go down through that. All right, so we're going to start right with orders. So when your store's up and running, this is where you're going to go to get your orders. And under orders, you've got the orders that came in. And then drafts, right under orders, is anything that if you want to make up a manual invoice or take an order over the phone, that's where you do it. And then you have your abandoned checkouts here. And what an abandoned checkout is if somebody came to your store and threw a bunch of products in, and then, the cat got caught in the wall, or, you had to go make dinner or head off to work, and the kids got on the computer and you forgot what you were doing, you can send those customers that walked away from the purchase an email or an SMS message. We'll show you how to do that in a little bit. And when you have an abandoned cart, so we don't have any here yet, of course, because we don't have any orders that have been abandoned, but it'll basically send your customer, a little note saying, hey, you got these great products over here in our Shopify store. Come on over and finish your sale. And that's a great feature. And, in my store at Lifegevity Soap Company, I probably pick up about 30% more business with sending emails out and communications out to customers that did abandon their carts. So you want to pay real close attention to that area of your store, right? So you'll find that once your store's up and running, you get your orders, you can take manual orders or look at your abandoned carts, all right? The next section is products. Now, we don't have any here yet, but this will be a listing of all your products. And of course, we can add products here or find products here. It'll show you your inventory once you have inventory, and you want to track your inventory, obviously, because if you end up having 2, 3, 4, 500 inventory items, you want to know when you're getting low in those things, and the store will tell you that. Okay. Transfers is if you have inventory coming in from a different location, so you can track those transfers that are coming in. And collections are where you put different items into different categories. So, for example, I'm going to set up a soap company here. And I'm going to sell shampoo bars, and I'm going to sell hand creams, and I'm going to sell soap. Okay, so I'll have a collection for each of those categories, and then they're kept separate in different collections rather than all just on one page. Okay, and here as well you can go ahead and set up gift cards, and we won't be able to do any of this, of course, till we select a plan, which we're going to do in a little bit. But you can have, and these are electronic gift cards, all right? So that's where your customers will be sent a code and then come into your store and shop and then pay using that code, okay? So that's all under your products tab. Under the customers tab, this is where you can manually add customers to your store, import customers from another location that you might have them, or as customers come in and set up accounts and make purchases through your store, they're all going to show up here, okay? And this is where you'll be able to see your customers. On the analytics, this is where it tracks the activity of your store. And this is great screen, okay? So it's going to tell you your total sales. You can filter this by the day, by the week, different times. It's going to show you total sales, your online store sales, your returning customer rate, your conversion rate at your store, your average value per order, total orders, all this kind of analytical stuff, all right, which is really important. And of course, you can also go in and print reports on these same type of pieces of information, okay? So retail sales, your profit margins, profit by product, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to show you how you set up your products and your costing on those products in a few seconds. Customers, behaviors, your finances, your marketing, all that kind of stuff is listed there. And then under live view, this is going to be an actual live picture of who's in your store and where they're from, all right? And that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's kind of cool, all right? So you'll find that under analytics. And then under marketing, this is the section where you're going to have an overview of your online store sessions, orders from your marketing campaigns, and sales from your marketing campaigns, the cost of your marketing campaigns, and we're going to show you how to set up all those up in a little bit, okay? And it's going to show you your abandoned cart recovery, and then you've got also a choice for a bunch of apps in here. Now there's a bunch of apps that you can add to your Shopify store here, and we're going to cover those in a different section, all right? You see your campaigns here, and campaigns are basically email advertising campaigns you send out to your customer base, and it shows you what that looks like. And then on automations, this is called really marketing automations, and it helps you to grow your business. So this is where you can send tailored messages to abandoned carts through SMS in their phone, through SMS bump, or you can send them emails. And it shows you the results of what those campaigns are and how many orders it actually created for you. All right, and then discounts. You can create discount coupon codes, and you can say, spring sale 10% off, and create a discount code, and then you can send that discount code to all of your customers through an email marketing campaign, or you can throw a sales bubble up on your homepage and have that discount available to your customers, okay? And then the apps, and we're not going to go through too much on the apps today, but really this is where you're going to go and be able to add more apps to your store. Now, some of them are going to be free, and some of them you're going to have to pay for, depending on what you want, okay? So, for example, a Barlow drop shipping app, so, there's an app there. You can look at starter pack apps, apps to get customers, apps to find products, apps to help your store stand out, hundreds and hundreds of apps. And what I would recommend is once your store is up and running, or maybe even just before you actually publish it, go through and view the apps, and you can say, hey, that might be interesting, or I'd like to have that in my store. You can go to view more apps down here. It's going to take us to a different page, and go through them, read what they're about. Each one kind of tells you what they're about. And then you can simply add those to your store, and it's going to tell you if it's free or if it's paid. And these are free plans available here. You can search by all the different types of apps, the different pricing for apps. So you can select just paid apps, and then go through customer paid apps, all those kind of apps. So there's lots of apps you can look at. I personally don't add a lot of apps into my store for a couple reasons. Number one, they slow the store down, and number two, I'm pretty happy with the basics of the Shopify store as they provide it to you. Okay, so but those are apps. I'd recommend you kind of take some time and go through those. And then the bottom of here, you've got the first section we're going to go to is the online store and the point of sale. Now, our online store is your actual store and setting that store up. And then your point of sale is if you click that option when you first set the store up, that you have POS sales, which are point of sale sales, which means you go to farmers markets or bazaars or pop-up markets or sell anywhere externally that's not an actual brick and mortar store. Like in a church bazaar, for example. They have Shopify gives you the ability for a point of sale app that you'll put on your phone, and then you can take sales right on your phone or on your tablet or even on computer, on a notebook at your point of sale. Then they'll integrate those sales into your store, right? So that's what point of sale is. So that's kind of what's up on the left-hand side here. Now, when we look at the center, so this is going to prompt us to take some actions. This is our current home page, okay, all in the center here. And, we'll go through, your trial just started, select a plan. So we're going to go through to do that in a second. And then if you did select point of sale on that original questionnaire, this is going to pop up here. And you're going to set your point of sale information up, which is basically downloading, the app for your phone. Or your tablet, and getting all that stuff set up. We're not going to do that here today, but it's all intuitive and kind of self-explanatory. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and dismiss that today. Then we got to set up our shipping. You can set up shipping by weight. You can set up shipping by region. You can set up standard cost shipping, or if you have the more expensive plan, you can set up shipping for UPS or United States Postal Service, USPS, to go ahead and calculate prices for you. Okay, and that's what that's all about. And then it's going to prompt us to take some basic actions down here. So it's going to say, look, you need to go ahead and add your products. You can customize your theme, add a domain, which you're certainly going to have to do. And then, you can review your shipping options and set up your point of sale stuff. So that's all the stuff that is in the center that we're going to kind of work through and see that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend that if you're going to be actually creating a website here with us today, that you go ahead and put all of the products that you have, the pictures of those products, any blurbs you might have pre-written, your logo, any graphics that you're going to want to put into your website. You should go ahead and collect those and put them in one single file. And generally I'll collect those and put them in one single file on my desktop, and then that'll help me to find those quickly and throw them into the store without having to search all over the place. So I kind of recommend you might want to do that if you're creating the store with us here today. So pause your video and go collect your pictures, your graphics, your logo, all the information you want in your store, put that in a file, and then unpause the video, come on back, and we'll actually get started going through some of this stuff. The last thing I did want to show you is at the very bottom of the page down here, you have settings. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in and look at those settings once we get our basic store set up, and go ahead and set all of these preferences, which deal with payments, store languages, billing, sales channels, taxes, locations, all that kind of stuff, okay? And that's going to be the final step to actually setting our store up. All right, so if you want to go ahead and get your products into a file, do that, and then we'll get right into setting up some collections. And if you just want to keep going, well, just keep playing the video, and here we go to set some collections up. Okay. All right, hopefully you were able to go and put some products and pictures and graphics into a file, and if not, you can just follow along, that's fine. So before we can actually set our collections up and get things rolling here, we're going to talk about selecting a plan, and the reason being is that I'll be limited in what I can actually show you without actually having a plan in place. So you should come, if this is your chosen e-commerce platform, and you do want to, open a Shopify store, you should follow along with this step now and go ahead and do this. You want to hit select a plan up top in the center here. And there's three main plans you can start with. One is the basic Shopify, one is the Shopify, and one is the advanced Shopify. Now, the difference is you get all of these features down here, which are the main features in every single plan, okay? So your basic, your Shopify, and your advanced comes with your online store, your sales channels, checkouts, your SSL certificates, your abandoned cart recovery, manual order creation, gift certificates, your point of sale stuff. So everything comes with every plan. So you might say, well, why not just get the cheapest plan? Well, there's a couple things it doesn't come with, all right? So for $26 a month, then if you're just starting a store and, your business is new and, you don't have, 40 or 50, or $100,000 of sales yet, You don't need anything other than the basic Shopify. Okay, now if you are well established, you are up and running. You might want to consider the mid plan at $71. And if you're running a robust business, absolutely advanced Shopify. And here's why. So when you look at the basic plan, there's a couple things you're going to have to pay for here, right? So it's billed annually at $312, $26 a month. That's US dollars a month. But if you look right here, oops, did that wrong. If you look right here, you only get up to 2 staff members and up to 4 locations. Okay, so there's no fraud analysis. You don't get the professional reports. So that's can be a downside. However, if you're just starting up, you shouldn't need more than 2 staff members or up to 4 point of sale, and that's what they are, locations. All right, and when you look at the next one here, it adds in 5 staff members, 5 locations, fraud analysis, and professional reports. You can pay $71 US a month for that. Okay, and the big plan is $266 a month. And that one, you get up to 15 staff members, 8 locations, the fraud analysis, professional reports, and advanced report builder, right? But I'm pretty confident, if you're new at this and you're just setting up for the first time, I'm pretty sure the $26 a month is probably going to be sufficient. However, there are some additional costs to that, and let's look at those right now, okay? So you're going to have to, when it comes to your payments, all right, in addition, additional fees for all third-party payment providers. Okay, so if you're going to use PayPal or Stripe or Square, every sale that you make, you're going to send Shopify 2% of that sale. Okay, under this plan, and when you move up to the $71 plan, you're only going to pay 1%. All right, and when you move up to the big plan, you're only going to pay 0.5%, and you're going to have to do the math on that. So if you're under 5,000 in sales right now, no big deal. But if you're selling $100,000 a year, all right, under this plan right here at 2%, you're going to send Shopify $2,000 of that $100,000. All right, and under this under the second plan, you're going to send them 1% of your sales, or $1,000. Okay, and if you look at the difference in the cost, it's simply a math thing, right? So this one here is going to cost $312 a year for the basic plan. All right. This one here is going to cost you $852 a year for the yearly plan. So if you do the math on that, that's about $540. I did that in my head. Hopefully it's right. So it's going to cost you an extra $540 a year to have this one. But if you're selling $100,000 a year, you are going to pay them $1,000 instead of $2,000. So it's $1,000 less you'll pay them. So this plan actually pays for itself. All right, and the break-even point, I'm going to estimate it to be about the $40,000 to $50,000 range. So if you're over $50,000 in current sales, you might as well spend $71 a month and not send Shopify all of that extra 1% on the payment fees for third-party providers. Okay, and then up here at the 0.5%, well, you'll once your store is obviously selling hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, you move up to get all those advanced features. So that's one difference. We're just going to talk about the 2 plans here today, the $26 and the $71 plan. The other disadvantage to the $26 or the $71 is shipping discounts. Okay, so under this plan here, you can get a 77% up to a 77% discount. With carriers like DHL, UPS, USPS. Whereas in this plan here, you can get up to 88% shipping discount. Okay, and I don't know how big your stuff is, or if you're just selling electronic goods, and I mean electronic files rather than physical files. We don't have a shipping issue, but again, if you're selling big bulky items and you're selling lots of them, you can do the cost analysis on that, and it might make sense to go up to that $71 a year plan. So really, in my mind, the only reason you go up to $71 is if you're well above that $50,000 in sales, or you're selling really heavy items and a whole bunch of them. Then you can bring your shipping costs down to actually pay that extra monthly fee on Shopify. So those are things you want to consider. But for this purpose, absolutely, if you're new, you're just starting out, you're under $50,000 of sales, I would certainly go with the basic Shopify, and you can do that by 1 year, save 10%, by 2 years, save yourself 20%, or pay for 3 years and save yourself 25%. You will notice that those prices went down to $21.75 and $59.25. Okay, and that's your monthly fee. For this purpose here today, I'm going to choose monthly, and I'm going to choose the basic plan because I said I'm going to have an actual account up and running here in order to go ahead and show you some of these features. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this plan right here. And once I choose that plan, I'm going to have to go ahead and add a credit card or pay by PayPal. In my case here, I'm going to add a credit card. And then I'm going to put all my information in here. So I can go ahead and do that and then hit confirm. Okay, so once your credit card information is in or your PayPal information and you hit next, simply go ahead and hit start plan. Now what you will notice is you won't actually pay for your plan until your free trial of 14 days expires. Okay, so go ahead and hit start plan. And we are up and running. Our store is paid for and ready to go. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and deal with our collections. Okay. And collections, as I said, are where you put categories of products. And you want to be able to categorize your products. It just makes a more professional store. Okay. So, and we're going to do that over on this side here. So we're going to start with the online store. And it's right down here, online store, okay? Before we get into collections, we're going to deal with our theme, okay? Now, what you have is you have the basic theme here called Dawn, okay? And you're going to want to go ahead and change that theme because everybody and their uncle is going to be using the Dawn theme, okay? Because it's free. A lot of people won't know how to actually go ahead and change that. You don't want to be have your store looking like everybody else's store out there on the internet. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and disable the password so this store is actually live. Obviously, won't be able to sell anything, but people could technically come in and take a look at it. But we need to do that to accomplish some of these features. So I'm going to go ahead and disable the password. Okay, I'm going to save those changes. Online store is live. Your online store is now visible to customers. Okay, so we could actually go in and view the store, but there's nothing in it yet. Actually, we'll do that for fun. All right, so there we go. Talk about your brand, example products. So that's actually live on the internet. Okay, you'll notice that's put us into a separate, open up a separate tab up here. Okay, we're going to close that off because we got some work to do. All right. Okay, so we're going to deal with themes. All right, so again, you're in the Dawn theme. And if you go down, if you want to actually customize that theme, you'd go into this customize button up here on the left. We don't want to do that. You don't want the same theme as everybody else. You have a couple of choices here. So if you go down to the bottom of this page, and I've just kind of mouse wheeled down, okay, there's two types of themes you can actually change this store to. One is free themes, okay, and there's only 10 of those. So, once again, a lot of people could be using those free themes. However, picking one of these 10 is a lot better than going with the exact same theme everybody else has and looking like everybody else. And the other option is to go with a Shopify theme store, but you have to pay for those and they're expensive. All right, so I'm just going to look at them really quickly. So in free themes, you can go explore free themes over here on the left hand side, and it's going to show you what those 10 themes look like. All right. And this is one of the weaknesses of Shopify. If you're in somebody like Wix, they've got over, I think 800 now free templates. Even Squarespace has, over 100. So, but Shopify, they got 10. So you can go ahead and take a look at each of these, and you'll notice Dawn is live. So that's saying, look, that's the theme you're using right now. Okay. Sorry. So you can go Express, this theme here. You can go Minimal, Brooklyn, Narrative, Supply, Debut, Venture, Boundless, or Simple. Okay. And to preview one, you simply click on it. And it's you can either add to theme library, okay? You can go light, toy style, or beauty style. Okay, you got those three choices, okay? And if you want to choose this one, you add to theme library, okay? So you can, choose, one of these themes, which would be better than, this basic one that the store starts with that most people won't go ahead and change. Or you can go down to the Shopify theme store. And here you got some more choices, okay? And there's not hundreds of them, but you've got some better choices, right? However, they are expensive. So, as you start to scroll through here, this one here called Highlight, is $250 US with 3 styles to buy that theme. The one called Focal is $280. All right, and you kind of browse through these, and you can do it by different collections. You can do it by different industries, or you can browse all themes. Okay, I'll do health and beauty just because we're starting a soap store. So there's 28 themes under health and beauty, and ranging from, it looks like $180 to the one called Beyond. There's one for $310. So if you do want to fork out, you can get one of this editorial for $160. If you do want your store to look different than almost all of the stores out there, I'd recommend you kind of throw the money down to get a free, to get a paid theme. However, that's completely up to you. If you're happy with the canned themes that are free, you can certainly go ahead and just use Dawn or select 1 to 10, or you can go through the theme store and select something that's going to make your store a little more unique. To some people that's important, to some people it's not important. So obviously that's a personal decision. Okay. Just understand, you're going to pay between, it looks like, about $160 and $350 US to go ahead and get yourself a more unique theme. Okay. In our case, because this is just a tutorial, we're going to leave that Dawn theme there. All right, and we're gonna work with that one. But again, recommend you get yourself a theme, and if you are actually building a store with us as we go through with this today, you might want to go and do that. Pause your video, go get a theme now. Of course, after you've paid for your subscription, you have your account up and running, and then we're going to start to build this store and make it our own. Okay, that's where we're going next. Okay, it doesn't matter what theme you chose, or if you're just going to work along in the standard theme. It's always going to look the same over on the left-hand side here, okay? So you're not going to see any difference there. The only difference you'll find is, the layout of the actual web page itself, all right? And that's really what the themes do for you. So when you start a store, I always recommend, again, that you collect your graphics and the product pictures and any pre-written blurbs and put them in one spot. And once that's done, I always recommend that you start with collections. Now, a lot of people miss this, okay? Collections, again, are, categories of products. And you want to put your categories in before you actually start adding products, because you want to be able to add those products to the categories, if that makes sense, right? So if the categories don't exist, you can't add products to it. So we're going to go to the products page. And we're going to go down to collections and select collections, which is just one from the bottom, and hit collections. Okay. Now, when you're on this page here, you're going to see a button up the top right up here that says create collection. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create collection and create our first collection. Right. Now, for me, the title of this collection is going to be All Natural Soap. And that's going to be my first collection. And I'm going to put a little description. The best all natural soap ever. And of course, you will put in, a nice description there. Now, when you're in this, when you're entering text fields, you're generally going to have all of these choices up top. Okay. So you could pick one word, for example, and bold it. You can underline it. You can change the font on it. You can work on the alignment of it. There's all these choices you have. Just like any text editor, you can change the color of it. So I want to make an all natural in a nice green. So you can do all that kind of stuff. Then I might want to bold it. All right. So you could do anything that you can normally do with text, all right? So that's, it's kind of cool for this purpose here. I'm not going to do any of that stuff, but you can certainly do that, okay? So I'm just going to keep it the best all natural soap ever. And I'm going to put a little exclamation point there. Okay, so I like that. Now, the collection type, okay, can be manual, which means we're going to add products to this collection one by one, or it can be automatic. And for this case, I'm going to make it manual because I'm going to add collections once I actually go ahead and start putting products in here. Okay, so I'm only going to put this for my online store, and we're not really going to work on point of sale stuff today. Okay, so if you did want it for point of sale as well, you simply put point of sale there, and then it's going to show up in your point of sale stuff. All right, online store and schedule availability. It's basically going to be available from today. All right, so it's going to put scheduled, and then it's going to be in your store. Now you could add a collection image. I'm not going to do that for this purpose. I'm going to show you how to upload images when we actually put our products in. But it's nice to have a product image there, and I don't have, set aside for this purpose, a general soap picture. So I'm not going to do that, but you simply add image and you upload that image, okay? And then your search engine optimization, you always want to deal with your SEO, okay? So SEO is what helps Google find your page, okay? So you always want to put this section in. Page title, all natural soap, which is absolutely fine. The best soap ever, absolutely fine. And you've got your URL slug or handle, all natural soap. And so anybody searching all natural soap is going to be able to find your page with all natural soap on it, okay? So that's perfect. That works out fine, okay? You could go ahead and put a more of a descriptor in here, and the more keywords you use, the easier time that Google's going to have for it. But basically, you want to do that at all points in time. All right, so we're going to save that collection, and save is in the top right. All right, and there we go. Our collection has been created. And then we're going to go through, and you notice now that and it's not available yet because we haven't gone ahead and actually I put that into our sales channels, which we're going to do, but we're going to create our collections first. So I'm going to create a second collection, and this one's going to be all natural shampoo bars. All right, and then we're going to put here a description, best all natural shampoo bars ever. Okay, now like that. It's also going to be manual, and we're going to take it off the point of sale. We're going to schedule that for today, availability. And then the search engine optimization, you go through and you put any of the descriptors in there that you want to do, okay? Default collection is online store template. All right, so that's perfect, so we're going to save that. And the third collection I'm going to put in here, okay, is going to be all natural hand creams. All natural hand creams. Oh, Vreams. Oh, we're selling Vreams. We're selling creams. All right. And we're going to put in here just a quick description. Best all natural hand creams ever. Like it. All right. And off of the point of sale, we're going to schedule that. We're going to put that manual edition. And we're going to schedule availability as of today. Perfect, which happens to be October 13th. Okay, and we're going to say that. All right, so now when we look at our collections tab, we're going to find we have 4 collections. Our home page, which is created by Shopify for us. All natural hand creams, all natural shampoo bars, and all natural soap. But I'm going to change that collection to be all natural soaps because everything else was plural, okay? And we're going to save that. All right, perfect. So once you have your collections done, and we'll just confirm everything's there, and they are, okay? So and if I had to put a picture in, your picture would have shown up here, okay? And if you want to upload a picture of, creams or whatever your products are, those pictures would show up here, okay? Not necessary for my purpose here. All right, so now we're going to go into inventory, okay? And then we're going to go to products, and we're going to add our first product. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our store and add all the products into the store. Okay. Now to add a product, it's done exactly like a collection. Okay. So in this case here, I'm going to add some soap. So I'm going to go activated charcoal soap. It's going to be my first product, and this of course is the best soap ever. And of course, you'll put a nice fancy flowery description in there. You could fancy up your text, all that kind of stuff, all right? Now, we're going to put some pictures in. So you go Add Files. And you go over here and see I've got everything in a single file here, which I've set on my desktop. So I've got my activated charcoal soap, and I'm going to add one without wrapping and one with wrapping. And I'm going to add those 2 files. Okay? So those 2 files are now in there. Now what they do recommend is that, you should have professional pictures done. And you'll notice that my soap looks a little grainy. I want it to look that way. It's supposed to be all natural. It's supposed to be artisan made, so I like my pictures to look that way. However, when I get to my hand creams, and you're going to find, a little more professional in the glass bottle and, professional pictures. But they absolutely highly recommend that you get professional pictures done. Either, use, a nice camera and, not just to snap a picture on your phone, some nice lighting. Everybody you talk to and their recommendation out there is to have some nice pictures. And then they recommend, 5 to 10 pictures. Customers like to kind of, scroll through your pictures and, maybe you can have a picture of the back of the soap with a label and, maybe some bars put together, maybe a bar being used with some bubbles on it. Depending on what your application is, 5 to 10 pictures are recommended, okay? However, we got our pictures in there. Real easy to add media. You simply upload it from your computer. Again, easier if you have them all in one spot. All right, our price is going to be $6 a bar. That's what we're going to sell that for. Now, this compare pricing over here, I'm not a fan of this. Some people love it. I think it's deceptive. You can go ahead and put it in if you want. But, if you are selling a product that you're not making personally, that you're getting maybe off of Alibaba, for example, and you're selling, dog pools, you can, go online and say, oh, that guy's selling that dog pool for $10, and you can put $10 in here. And then, it's going to show that $10, kind of with a line through it, with your $6 underneath. Some people do it, some people don't. I'll leave that up to you, right? Now, this is where you, excuse me, deal with your costing to find out what your margins are and your profits are, okay? So I know a bar of soap costs me about $1.10, right? So I know that. So when I put that in there, and customers aren't going to see this information, it's simply for you in your store analytics. I can see that I now have a margin of 81.7%, all right? And that means that it costs me, about, 18.3%. To make that soap of the total cost I'm selling it for, right? And if I was to change this up here to say sell this soap for $7, you'll notice that margin is now at 84%. We'll get back to that. I'm going to keep that at $6 though, because that's what I do sell my soap for. All right, and I'm making $4.90 profit on each bar of soap, and that is before shipping and not not taking taxes into account. Now, you do want to charge tax on this product, so that's going to depend on how big your business is and where you're located. Okay, so in Canada, for example, if you want to charge tax on your products, you have to have an HST, the Harmonized Sales Tax number, or a GST number, depending on the province, Goods and Services Tax. And, you'll go ahead and set all that up in the settings. But if you sell under $30,000 in Canada, you don't have to charge tax. Although I'd always recommend it, because then you get to claim tax that you pay on your raw materials. However, if you are over $30,000, you have to charge tax. Depending what province you live in, what type of tax, and depending on where you live, the United States has their own rules, England has their rules, Australia has their rules. You need to know what your local rules are for your taxation, okay? But generally, you're probably going to be hit and charge tax on this product, okay? Let's go down. SKU is your stock keeping unit, is what that stands for. And you want to assign an SKU to all your products, all right? Every single product should have a unique SKU. And the reason being is if you do decide one day to sell on Amazon, for example, you're going to need to have one. It also is what they use to track your inventory with. So it's good to have an SKU for each product. And of course, if you do have, a UPC code, which is from, GS1, those are the codes that, the barcodes that stores use if you're going to be selling in, brick and mortar stores. If you're, selling to, Walmart or, any of the, stores that sell physical products, you're going to have a barcode, but you have to go through GS1 to get that. And, put your barcode number in here. I happen to have barcodes for all my products. However, I'm not putting in for this reason. I'm going to put a stock keeping unit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you want to track your quantities. Okay, so again, if you're selling, hundreds of different products, you want the website, the store, to keep track of that for you, and then to give you notifications that, hey, you're kind of getting low on this product. Okay, so track your quantities. You can continue selling when out of stock. That's up to you. if it takes you nothing to put stock back in inventory, just continue selling. If it takes you, you got to order that from somewhere else, you're going to need to, stop selling when you run out of inventory. In my case, I could make soap and hand cream and shampoo bars tonight and sell them tomorrow. So I'm going to keep selling from out of stock, but it's going to let me know. Okay. So this is a physical product, all right? Click that box off, and then I ship by weight. You could ship, you could have a flat shipping rate. You might want to ship by UPS and charge shipping based on those estimates from those companies. I do ship by weight, and so my soap and you can change the what you measured in here. I measured in grams. And my soap happens to be 125 grams. So I'm going to put that in there. And then, for example, I ship lip balms for free. I simply put them in an envelope and put a stamp on it. And they say, oh, don't you lose? About 3% is what you lose on that. However, paying $2 for a stamp to ship out, 4 lip balms is a lot better than paying, $14 or $15 to ship an envelope out. So, my lip balms weigh much less. And then when I do my freight setup, anything under a certain weight, I put my lip balms in at 0.1 each, and then anything under a certain weight, I ship for free, and that's how I deal with that. Okay. So anyway, I put the weight in there, and then the region for me, it's Canada, so I am selling in from Canada. So we'll go ahead and put that in there, and put your region in, of course. And I sell from Ontario, and the reason you want to put those regions in there is we talked about the taxes a few minutes ago. It's going to help the program also manage the taxes for you. Okay. If you have a harmonized system code, you can go ahead and put that in there. We don't have that in Canada, so I don't have to worry about it. And I don't have variants of this soap. So what I do is I sell. I like to have each soap as its own product, not a variant of other soaps. However, you could have variations, and if you do have that, if you have different sizes or different colors, if you're selling clothing, for example, or if you have jewelry with different size chains, you can go ahead and click that box, and then that's going to give you your options to put size 1, size 2, size 3, and that kind of stuff. All right, and then that'll be available for the customers. So once you go through that, you want to do your search engine optimization. Okay, and they pre-fill that for you. In the description, I might put all natural soap, and then I might also put, and I'll just change this into commas, and I might put synthetic free soap. I didn't like that. Synthetic free soap. And I'm actually going to leave that out because a lot of people won't put that hyphen in there, even though it's telling me to. Okay. So when I put in, so that gives me different, and don't worry about the spelling. This is, for Google. And they're going to go and look for these keywords, right? So if somebody's typing into their browser, what is the best soap ever, that you're going to have those keywords. I'm looking for all natural soap, you're going to have those keywords. I'm looking for synthetic free soap, you're going to have those keywords. So you want to put keywords in there in that description that are going to help Google find your products to display them to the customers that are on their search engines. Okay, so once that's done, I'm happy with that. I'm going to go then over here on the right hand side, you're going to want to put that into a collection. So you see here, search for collections. I'm going to put this into my all natural soap collection. Okay, it's also going to go on the home page, so we're going to put that on every page that we have. I could take that off the home page. It depends what your personal preference is, and that's just editing and design element preferences. Okay, down here, it's right now a draft product. Okay, I have to activate that to actually put it into the website. Okay, so now it's active, and it's going to be active in 2 sales channels. Okay, and there's really not anything else you need to do here. We are the vendor, Lifegevity Soap Company. Product type is standard. There's nothing else you really want to do there. You could. No real tags on that at that point in time. And tags are, people are searching for certain things in your store. They're going to put soap, and they're going to find soap. Theme template, and it's just going to be the default template that we're using. All right, so with all that done, and don't forget to put your products in your collections. If you've created collections, we're going to save that product. Product saved. Okay, so now when we go to products, there we go. We have our activated charcoal soap in stock. Oh, and one thing we forgot to do is actually to put a stock number in. So you just simply click on it, and you go back down to the quantity, and you put a quantity in right here. And I'm going to have 1,000 of these in stock. Now you can type a number in, or you can use your sliders here, okay? I don't have any incoming, and we talked about transfers up here earlier. Transfers over here, if you had stuff coming from transfers from other stores, for example, or other locations, they would show as incoming here, okay? So now I'm going to save that again, and I should be happy with looking at my products and seeing my activated charcoal soap, and there it is. It's active. I have 1,000 in stock, Lifejevity Soap Company, and that's beautiful, okay? So I'm pretty happy with all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and add another soap, a couple hand creams, and a couple shampoo bars, just like I did under products, add a product, okay? Again, up here in the top right. I'm going to go ahead and add those products just so you don't have to sit here and watch me do the same thing 6 times. But I do want you to see the products and collections, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. If you're adding products to your store, pause your video, go add your products in, add them into your collection, and then unpause your video. And for those that are just following along, well, just keep following, but I'll be back in a second. Okay. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put all my products in. So now when I come over here to products and click products, you'll see that I have my soap. Oh, okay, so I noticed that my activated charcoal and my spearmint soap is not together. I like to keep my products together when I'm looking at this, okay? So you do have, so I do have my 2 soaps in here, 2 shampoo bars, 2 hand creams, all right? And, I've got my stock in here. Oh, boy, 998. I hope somebody hasn't tried to buy 2 of those already. We are live. It is possible. All right. Okay, so I do like to see this with my product types together. So how you deal with that is you have all these bars, these selection bars across the top here, okay? So you can go into sort, and in this case, I'm going to sort by product type, A to Z, all right? So now I've got my 2 soaps together, my 2 hand creams together, my 2 shampoo bars together, okay? And that's wonderful, okay? So you can add more products, and you can also import products from Excel or something like that, okay? You've got more filters. You can filter by status of the product, active, draft, or archived. And I did make all these active status. You can filter by, your tag words or even your vendor type. In our case, we only have one vendor being me. But, if you were selling stuff, again, off Alibaba or something, you'd have, maybe Nike and, Bantam or whatever. So you can do all those kind of filters, okay? And then you can look at active products, right? And it'll go show you that each of these are active. Drafts, we shouldn't have any, which we don't. And archived, we shouldn't have any, which we don't. Okay, so back to all products. And I didn't save that, so it's gone ahead and put it back into its order, but that's okay for now, right? And then when I look at my inventory tab, okay, go to products, and it's going to show me that everything is in stock that I have. Okay, so that's all in stock, which is great. So there's my inventory tab with the exact same, information up top there. Okay, so really what we've done is we've added 2 collections, and we can go ahead and look at those collections, 3 collections. We got our all natural soap, all natural hand creams, all natural soap bars, and then our home page as well. Okay, and we've also allowed all these products to be in our home page. So just a couple things I want to show you on products. When I go into activated charcoal soap here, all right, we've got our description, we've got it active, you have to make it active. We've got our pictures in, we are the vendor, Lifejevity Soap Company. I have my pricing in. I'm tracking my margins and my profit here, which is, very important. I'm tracking my quantity. I'm actually going to sell stuff from out of stock because I can make it pretty quickly. I have my inventory in. It's a physical product. I have my weight in. I've got my region in. It's all there, and everything that I need. All right. On the right-hand side here, online store and point of sale. And you can go to show more here, and you got your point of sale live, your online store live, organization, no product types, anything like that. So everything is in here that needs to be in here. Now, if I wanted to delete a product, it's simply down at the very bottom, delete product, okay? Or if I wanted to archive this product, down at the bottom, you can archive the product, right? So if you stop selling something, or if it's only a Christmas item, for example, that's going to be in the stores from, August, forbid, till December, you can archive it, from January, through to August type thing. So you can archive your products, bring them out when you want, or you can delete your products, okay? And that's where you would do that, right down the bottom there, okay? So everything is looking good, perfect. So when you look at this, go back to the home screen here. So when you look at, this section here, to get us up and running, we've really done everything we need to deal with here under this section right up to analytics, okay? So that's good. So we're moving along nice and fine, okay? So now when you look at the center here, okay, add a product, you're going to notice that we have a check mark here because we've gone ahead and added a product, okay? Now it's going to ask us to customize our theme. We're going to continue with the theme that we're using. But they want us to, if you did want to customize it, you'd go in there, you'd hit the customize button on the top right here, okay? And you'd hit customize. And this is where you can actually go in and start making changes on how things look about and what you're dealing with here, all right? So this is the first, when you're actually dealing with your website, this is kind of what your website is going to look like when people are in it, okay? So there's your home page, here's your catalog page, okay? And the catalog page has our products in it, all right? And then a contact page, and they've gone ahead and, Shopify's gone ahead and created these pages for us in our website, okay? And we're going to be able to change any of this and make it our own, okay? So now we're going to talk about how we actually go in and edit some of how this website actually looks. And you will notice on the top here that this site is actually live, okay? That's kind of cool. Now, we didn't make any changes here yet, so we don't have to hit the save button up here, but we could, of course, go ahead and do that, all right? Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and actually edit the site itself and change some of these images and put some of our own branding words in and get our collection showing and that kind of stuff. So that's where we're going to go next, all right? Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to customize the theme that we've chosen, which is basically make it into our own. So how you would get there, although I'm here, how you get there is you go on the home screen, okay? And if you're on a different page or something, and then you're going to see down in the center, right about here, is Customize Theme, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to click on Customize Theme right here, all right? Customize Theme, and it's going to take you to this page, and once you're in this page, how you actually start to manipulate your website itself, you go and hit Customize right here, okay? So we're going to customize our Dawn theme, and it doesn't matter what theme you are using, you hit that Customize button, right? And once you're in here, it's going to take you kind of in a chronological order down your website. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, okay, you've got the announcement bar, the header, the image banner, and then all of the different blocks that are in this website. Now, you don't have the same design customizations that you have in a site like Wix, for example. However, these are good sites, and you do, obviously still need to make it your own. So we're going to start right at the top, and we're going to go with the announcement bar. The announcement bar is this bar right up the top here, okay? You can have that in here, or you can not have that in here. And this one here says, welcome to our store, or you can put, some type of banner heading in there. So if you just click on announcement bar here on the left-hand side, it's going to take you in and give you the option to start to edit that. So when I click announcement bar, no customizations available, all right? So, however, it's come up to here and given us this, and you could hit this little arrow key to get into it as well, okay? So, welcome to our store is what it says now. If you want to change that, you would click on it and see welcome to our store. And then, we'll put our tagline in here, best soap ever. And then that's going to be in there now. And then you can change the background of that through here. So it's right now it's background 1. You can put background 2, which gives it a darker border. Inverse, with the black. We'll keep background 2 in there. Actually go with background 1, make it nice and white. Okay. And then you could also have a link pasted in here, and we're not going to put a link in, but you can link that to your product page, for example, if you wanted to, or to a blog post, or you can link it anywhere, and you simply choose which one you want to link it to. We're not going to go ahead and do that. We're going to keep Best Soap Ever in there. I like that, and if you did want to actually manage this a little better, you can get rid of it. So if you click over on this little eyeball here, it's either going to show it or not show it, and the eyeball pops up there. So if I click on here on this eyeball, that's going to disappear. So if you don't want an announcement bar, you simply hide it, okay? Or you can open it, and then you could actually add more announcement bars in by clicking this little add announcement, and now I've got 2 of them in there, okay? And I could put 3 of them in there, 4 of them in there. That's your choice, and you could also move them around, okay? And you do that by holding this little elliptical on the right-hand side here, and I could move that up. Welcome to our store, Best Soap Ever, as an example, okay? So you can have them, you can get rid of them, you can hide them. That's up to you, all right? I personally don't like to have those in there, so I'm going to take them both out, and I don't want them. All right, so next thing you deal with then, just moving down, is your header. So below your announcement bar would be your header, and this is your header here, okay? And your header has your company name on it, your home, catalog, and contact, which is your menu bar, which we're going to talk about down once we go into the actual header. And then you've got search and your shopping cart, okay? So that's what's up there, all right? So when you click on header, all right, so right now it's in background 1. We're going to leave it there. Now you can have the name of your company up here, like you have here, or you can put a logo in, all right? And I'll just show you what that is. So if I want to put a logo in there, I can select the image, and I've already uploaded this image, so I'd select that logo. Now it's change that name to a picture of my logo, okay? And then, that will be, if you put the setting correctly, on every single page that people go to, okay? And I kind of like the logo in there. You can upload an image from the library, or free images, which are over here. And there's lots of images you can choose from. These are all stock free images, okay? And you could choose any of those, which is kind of cool. Okay, so I've taken my logo out and left the Life Jelly Soap Company in, because I did make the decision that I'm going to actually put my logo down here and make it much bigger, right? Okay, and then you can change the size of the logo too, if you leave your image in there, big, small, whatever you want. You can position the logo, all that kind of stuff. And the next thing you have is moving down the list, is you have your main menu, okay? And your main menu, of course, is right here, okay? So you've got home, catalog, and contact in there right now. And they've put that in there for you by default. So if you want to change that, you can do 2 things. You can edit it, all right? So when you go into the edit menu, you can go in here, and it's going to show you the menu items you have. You can edit it or delete it, edit or delete, or you can add a menu item. You'd simply click Add Menu Item. You type the name of it, and then you'd link it to a page within your site, okay? And you just pick which page you want to link it to, or a new page that you've created, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, okay? So that's one way to deal with that, all right? So we're going to go back here, back to customizing. All right, now, as you continue to move down here on your header, so that's your menu items. Now you can show a separator line if you want. That's generally between your different sections, and then you can enable sticky header, which means this header will stay on every single page that they go through. So if you went to your catalog, you still got your header. You went to your home, you still got your header. I like to keep that in there. I would personally always keep that in there. But it's design element choices, okay? And then, of course, you can go to your theme settings, and we're going to leave the theme that we've already gone with. Now, next you have Enable Product Suggestions. You can leave that on or off. I'm going to turn it off. And then you can go in here and put in all of your social media. And again, we're still dealing with the header site. So you can put in your social media links, so your Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, Tumblr, Snapchat, YouTube, Vimeo. You can put your links in there, and then they, of course, come up here. and you would put your own, obviously, links in there. So https:// your Twitter account, okay, or your Facebook account, right? And that's how you do that, and you get those up there on your header bar, okay? So to get out of the header bar, once you've made the changes you want, you simply hit back here, and it takes you back to where we were, okay? Now, the next one is the image banner, and this is the next section of your site, and you notice that we've got talk about your brand and a button, okay? So if you go talk about your brand, it's we're going to use our tagline, best soap ever, and of course you would put fancy stuff in here and make it all your own and that kind of stuff. All right, and the size, you can go medium or large. We're going to keep that medium. I like that better. Okay, so it kind of deals with that. And then your button. Okay, so the button is shop all, or we could just put shop now. We can change any of that kind of stuff. And then you can link that button to all your products, which of course if you're shopping now, that's what you want to do. So we're going to leave that like that. Use outline button style. Yes, it's changing your style, so you can deal with your style a little bit. So there's an outline button style. There's a filled in button style. You can have a second button label in there if you want, a second button link, or you can use, make it all the outline button style. So that's the deal with that button. So we're going to call that done. And the image banner, okay, we're going to select an image for this because I don't obviously want this stock image in here. So the first image, I'm going to upload an image, and I'm going to pick an image that I've already chosen here and put into my single file. I'm going to put that image in there of all my products. And there we go. Best soap ever with a picture of longevity stuff. Perfect. Beautiful. Look at all that nice soap. Some lip balms. Wonderful. Okay. So we're going to say that next section is done. So you simply exit out of it. Okay. Oh, and then we do need to save that. And then we're going to select that. And once it's actually selected, we can save our work. You can change you can add a second image in, okay, and it'll put it side by side. You can adapt the section height to the first image size if you want. The position, desktop size, text position. Show text box. You don't have to show a text box, but you can. Image overlay. You got the different sizes there, and the overlay that you can change. You can change your background theme. This is background 1. Again, you can change the background 2 if you want. Put some accents in. Stack images in mobile, which we do want to do. So your images, if they were side by side, you want them on top of each other for the mobile site. All right. Okay, so we're happy with that. So now we're going to save that image in there. Best soap ever. All right, beautiful. Another option I could have done is that because I didn't decide to put my logo up here, I could actually put a logo in there. So if you want to do that, you simply change the image. So I can put that image in there instead. I like that better. You'll notice now I'm cutting the top and the bottom of my image off. So to fix that, you're going to go to adapt section height to first image size. And then now I've got a view of my full image in there. So real nice and big. Nobody can miss that logo. Longevity Soap Company. Wow. Okay. Best soap ever. Shop now. Perfect. So I like the image banner. All right. That's done. And we're going to go back to where we were. And this image banner is finished. Now, if you want to add sections to this, okay, or below it, you simply go add block. And you can add text in there, for example, okay, and that would be a theme block text. We're not going to do that because I'm happy with how it is. All right. So as we keep moving down, you've got rich text next, which is about this here. Talk about your brand. And you can, again, go ahead and put an image in there, or you can just change this wording by clicking on it. And, we're going to keep the same tagline. Of course, you would make this real fancy and be putting your words in it and all that kind of stuff, right? So best soap ever. I'm happy with that. So share information about your brand. All natural soap. No synthetics. Beautiful. Okay, we'll go back. And then you've got a button in here. Now, I don't want a button here because we've got a shop now right here. I don't want to send people anywhere else for that. So to get rid of that button, I simply hide that button just like that. Okay, so there we go. So best soap ever, Longevity Soap Company, shop now. And if I wanted a smaller image in here, I would put a smaller stock image in here that I uploaded instead of this large logo. But for this purpose here, I'm just going to leave that like that. Okay. All right, so, and then you've got, as you're going down, shop now, best soap ever, you've got your product catalogs in here. And then as you keep going down here, you've got all of these changes you can make to all of these areas. And for this purpose, I don't really want any of those in there. I'm just going to have a nice, clean soap selling website. There's my products, featured products, got my logo, got my best soap ever, I got a shop button. I'm kind of happy with that, right? So as you go through this, this feature collection, I'm going to keep that in there. This collage, I'm going to get rid of it just because I don't want to see it. This multi-column, I'm going to get rid of just because I don't want to see it. Okay. Perfect. And this video, I'm going to hide the video. Now you could certainly fill all these areas in. You can add areas to it. And what you are allowed is in each section, you're allowed to have 3 of 3 blocks. So if you wanted to, get rid of this one and add a new one, you could certainly do that. But that's, not what we're going to do for this purpose, right? We're going to keep it clean. We're going to keep it simple. And then, so we've got our header, our company name, our search, our shopping cart, our logo, best soap ever, shop now, and of course we're designing this really fast. You make a lot of changes and you work on your design elements a lot better than we're doing here. I'm just showing you how to work around. Okay, so as you work into in this left section here, you go through each section. I said you can add it, you can change it, you can hide it, and put your own stuff in it. Okay, but for this, and you can add a section right down the bottom here, and you can have as many sections as you want. There's no rule to that. All right, and then the last thing we have, so I'm just going to assume for this training purpose, I've done everything I like here. I'm kind of happy with everything. And then the last thing we're going to deal with is the footer, which is down the bottom here. Okay, so this is your footer, and again, this will, if set up properly, be on every single page that people go to. Okay, so your footer is located down the bottom here. So what you'll do is you go into your footer and open that up and make any changes that you want to your footer. Okay, so your quick links. Okay, click on quick links. Okay, and you can change those. All right, so you go change down here and go to change menu. And right now we've got a footer menu and we've got a main menu. Okay, now you can create a menu, add stuff in, take stuff out, all that kind of thing. So we're not going to make any changes. I'm happy just as it is. Then you've got your heading. Okay, share store details, and of course this is what's going on here. And we're going to put our normal tagline in here: best soap ever. Okay, perfect. And then you can link this. Of course, you would hit this little link chain here. So any of this stuff in your footer is going to link to different areas. So if I did hit this link here, I can link that to my products page. Okay, and then I'm going to send them to all products. And then when they click that link on best soap ever, they'll be able to get to, and I better spell ever right. They'll be able to get directly to my products. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Beautiful. And when they click on best soap ever, when the site's live and running, that'll pop them right over to the product page. Okay, and this has your email. Put your email in to subscribe, and Shopify's put that in for you. And you search a site. Any quick links you added would be added right there, and you can insert links. Okay, we'll go back here. Okay, so we are still dealing with the footer down here. Okay, and then so you can change your background color, email sign up for your subscribers. That's what this box is here. Show email sign up, you can show it or you can't show it. Of course, you're going to want them to sign up to your website and become members. Okay, you can change that wording, subscribe to our email, join our site. social media icons. So you can add your social media icons down there. And anything that we had typed into that social media section, which I showed you a few minutes ago, that's when now it's going to show up down here as well. Okay, you can add your country or region to your payment settings, enable country region selector, add a language, go to your language selector, and you can add add-ons onto your site to help you with your languages. Okay, and show payment icons. And these are all your payment icons down here. So those are the selections that we've made on our footer. We're happy with that, so let's save that work. Okay, and now we have a very simplified website. And of course, you're going to put a lot more design work into this. I'm just again showing you how to move around, add stuff, change stuff, take stuff away. But for our purpose here today, that works absolutely fine. So that's just wonderful. Okay, all right. Now, I usually don't worry about this till I'm finished, but I'm designing in desktop, obviously, right? So this is the desktop. It's also going through and converting it to mobile for you as you build your site, all right? So, this is the desktop, and if you click on this little desktop icon up here, it's going to give you three choices to go to mobile, okay, or to go to full screen. So if you go to mobile, this is what your site's going to look like in mobile, all right? And best soap ever, all our stuff's there. They've changed all the design elements for us so it fits. And I have found 99.9% of the time that the mobile conversion works absolutely fine. You don't need to make any changes to it. So I'm happy with this. And if I was spending more time, I would make these product images the same size, and I'd make this logo a little smaller before I put it into the upload. But it's fine. And you can also look at full screen here. Okay, so that's what the full screen looks like. All right. So we've got our header, our footer, our products, our logo, our company name, everything that we need. All right. So we'll head on back to the desktop. Okay. So that is a quick down and dirty kind of look at how you actually work with the elements within your site on the different pages. Okay, so we're going to go back here and exit and take us to back where we started on our home page. All right, and you can see our site now is kind of showing what we look like. Little actions button, you can rename it, duplicate it, download theme file, edit the code, and edit languages. Okay, so we're going to leave like that. All right, okay, perfect. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go start going through the balance of your options here to be set up and how to add different pages and domains and preferences, and then we're going to get into the settings. All right, so that's where we're going next. Okay, so once you get your basic store structure set up, you want to keep going through your online store setup. So back here on the left, we've got a few things we want to talk about. So you certainly want a blog post. Okay, now you say, well, what does blog have to do with my online store? Well, what it does is it gives you passive traffic, and when you create a blog, it's going to send more people to your blog. That eventually you're going to send more people to your website. And it's going to give your website more traffic, okay? And traffic in your website is good for your SEO, your search engine optimization, okay? So the more traffic you have, and the more people visiting your site, the more people that are engaging with you, Google's going to move you up closer to the top of the list, okay, when people are searching for your product. So I recommend having a blog. You don't have to, but I certainly recommend it. And you simply go to create blog post, and you can blog whatever your business is. If it's jewelry, how you make it, or some of the great products you use that you put into your blog post or into your products. Many things you can blog about, but I'd recommend doing it, and making that as part of your site. And if you could even go in daily and do a small blog, I mean, that's going to go a long way in helping you to move up on the search engine optimization. Okay, so it's a good thing to have. The next one down here is pages. So if you want to add pages to your site, you click on that button there, and you simply go on the top left here, and you simply add a page. All right, and when you add a page, you're going to give it a name, and add elements into it, and you can have obviously as many pages in your site as you want. Okay, I'm not going to go through that. It's it's easy. So go add page and put a title in and start adding elements in. Okay, when it comes to navigation, this is your footer menu, your main menu, and you can add in menus. Okay, so along your top menu bar, you can add pages, and you can add those pages to the menu. That's where you do that there. When it comes to domains, right now, you're going to want to have your own domain. Okay, so I would strongly recommend, if you don't have a domain, that you do go ahead and purchase one. And domains are cheap. You can get a domain from anywhere from $9 to kind of $20 a year. And what that does, if you look at this here right now, the domain of this site, which is supplied by Shopify, is lifejevity.soap or -soap-company.myshopify.com. And what I'd like to have in there is simply lifejevitysoaps.ca or lifejevitysoaps.com, right? So it makes your store certainly a little more professional, a little easier to actually type into a search bar if people are looking for you. It's highly recommended. So you simply go to Buy New Domain up here, and you click in a domain name, for example. So I'll put lifejevitysoaps.ca, and they're going to search for that, and they're going to tell me that it's unavailable. And the reason being is because I already own it, right? But I could choose one of these other options that they give me, .cab, .cafe, .camera, .camp, or you could put in lifejevitysoaps.biz, for example, or change the name entirely, but you really want to go ahead and get that. And then, these ones here, lifejevity.cape Town, for example, $22 a year. So you go ahead and buy that. Show Next will give you, a lot more options. Lifejevitysoap.net I can get for, $17 a year. Highly recommend you have a domain in there that's yours. It just makes your business a lot more professional, okay? We're not going to go ahead and do that because, of course, I already have a domain, all right? So highly recommend you get yourself a domain, all right? Next we're going to look at is preferences down here on the left-hand side. And preferences are, what's your homepage title? You want to go ahead and put that in. And then you want to give it a little description. And again, Google's going to use that to help people find your store and your homepage. And you want to put keywords in that are applicable to you. I'm not going to fill this in because, for me, this is a sample site, but if you're selling jewelry, you want to put best homemade jewelry available, or great gold jewelry, and then of course that's going to give Google what you think your customers are going to type into a search engine. You want to put those keywords into your description, right? Social sharing, of course, you can put your images in here, and Google Analytics. If you are participating in the Google Analytics, you paste your code in here. That's beyond the scope of this tutorial. You got Facebook Pixel, which you can deal with as well. And if you're dealing with Facebook, you'll know all about that. Again, beyond this this tutorial. Now, these are two important areas here. When you get down to this, is dealing with some of the legalese. Okay, so if you go limited data collection for EU buyers is deactivated. Under European law now, you have limitations in what you can collect, so you kind of want to go ahead and activate that. And same thing with for California. Okay, so you want to kind of activate that. All right. Nothing else. Spam protection. I don't like the Google reCAPTCHA. Drives me nuts actually. But if you do want that in there, you can actually go ahead and put that in there. Of course. That's completely your choice. And if you want to redirect domains, you can redirect your customers to your homepage, for example. And you want to go ahead and probably do that. Okay, so you go through and deal with some of that kind of stuff on the preferences, and that's important as well. Now, the last thing that's really important for us is to go into the settings. Okay, and the settings is down the very bottom here. And this is dealing with all of the back office stuff to deal with your website. Okay, so we haven't done things like set, shipping stuff up yet. So when you go into settings, you're going to go through each one of these, and they're all intuitive and self-explanatory. All right, and you're going to go through and click on each one and go through and take or make any changes that you want to make. Okay, so you simply go into the setting, store name, Life Jevity Soap Company, the email, the sender email, and if I was what I would be doing is setting this up at, Life Jevity Soaps, or Brian at lifejevitysoaps.ca, or support at lifejevitysoaps.ca, okay? And that's the way, I'd be setting that up there. I've got my industry set, which is going to help Google a lot. You want to put in your address, your phone number, all of that kind of stuff, and get all that set for your customers. Put in your standard formats of, I do deal in kilograms, although I'm going to set my default weight at grams because, I'm in Canada, we do deal with the metric system. You can certainly change that to imperial if you're in the States. Then it'll give you, pounds and ounces instead. I'm going to set my time zone up as Eastern. So it's GMT -5, so I'd set the Eastern time zone up. That's where I'm located, okay? Currency is Canadian dollars. Of course, if you're in the States, you'd set, US dollars, or if you want to sell in US dollars, put US dollars. It depends where you are, okay? So you want to go through and deal with all of these general settings, and then you'd save your website every time you make some changes. And you simply walk through each of these categories, and each of them is going to give you an action to take. All intuitive, all self-explanatory. I won't put you through sitting through me going through all of these. A couple things I will recommend though is that when you talk about this legal section here, I definitely recommend that you go into the legal section. I just want to show you a few things here. So you should have a refund policy, right? So you can write your own, or you can get one from Google, or you can actually create one from template, okay? And all these sections of legal, privacy policy, you should certainly have that. And of course you need to live by what you have, your terms of service, your shipping policy. A lot of customers are going to want to see these items in your website, generally in your footer, and then you can go ahead and look a little more professional. And all you do is you can either type your own, get one off Google or whatever your preferred browser is, and edit it to yourself, or you can create it from template. And Shopify's done a really good job here. So I'd go create from template, and I'd go through here and then change anything that is applicable to me. You obviously want to do that, right? So we have a 30-day return policy, which means you have 30 days after receiving your item to mine's 45-day return policy, right? So I just change that and change this. So you want to edit each of these to be applicable to exactly what you want to write in here. You can add to it, you can take away from it. Your choices, damage and issues, I don't want that in there, so I'm going to delete that and tighten that up a bit. So what you want to do is you want to go through each of these policies and either create from template or put your own in. So there's a privacy policy we're going to put in, and this is the policy that we'll live by. It gives our customers comfort that we're not going to be taking their email names, for example, and selling those to other people. Our terms of service, you create the template and you go through, read that, adjust it to yourself, and you do that for each of these. Your shipping policy, you write your shipping policy in here. We ship in 1 to 5 business days, and whatever your policy is, okay. And then once you get all those legal policies in there, again, save it, and that section would be considered done, right? And then you simply go back and you go through again each one of these sections. Okay, so here's payments, for example, and again, I'm not going to walk you through every one. They're all intuitive, very self-explanatory, and you just set up what they're what they're kind of prompting you to go ahead and set up. Okay, so for example, you need to provide some additional information about your business to start receiving payouts from Shopify payments. And that's from Shopify themselves managing the payment. All right, so you go a complete account setup. And then, the credit card rates for them are 2.9% plus 30 cents, no transaction fee. If you do go ahead and, have a PayPal account, you can go connect your PayPal account here. Alternative payment methods will give you Stripe, Square, all those kind of things, okay? You can take manual payments, so that's, you go through, you set all that stuff up, and then you'd save it. I haven't made any changes, so it's not going to give us that choice. So, your checkout and, what your checkout page look like, and, accounts are required. I'd certainly want customers to have accounts. You can customize your checkout style, how you communicate with your customers, what your form options look like. So again, it's all self-intuitive. You go through each one of these. You actually go through and do the setting. Here's to how to manage your taxes depending on what your location is. Your permissions. You can go ahead and change your plan. So if you started with the least expensive plan, you can go in here and modify and move up to the next plan level. So you can certainly do that there. You just go to change plan, change subscription, and that's all available there. So, you manage your gift cards here, your store languages here, your billing information here, the legal information there. So you certainly want to go through and set all your settings. And then once all those settings are done, you're simply going to save your site. And technically, if I had actually gone through and put payment options in, people could go into this test website or sample website and start purchasing soap. All right. And then again, you're going to add your domain, do your shipping setup, do your point of sale setup if you're doing that. Again, all very self-intuitive. You can keep your account secure by verifying your email address. You get sending email verifications. Congratulations on launching your new store. You can share this on Twitter and Facebook. Bookmark your store for easy access. You can put that on your desktop. So it's all basic setup stuff, all intuitive stuff, and then once you go through all that stuff, you can call yourself done and in business selling your products online. You should be able to go through and create a website from start to finish, working on the design elements a little more than we did here today, obviously, and putting some larger taglines in and more products in. 2 to 3 hours you should be up and running, selling online, and Shopify is just a spectacular program for that. So I think that's all I'm going to cover today. If you do have any questions, you can put them in the comments below the video, and I will certainly answer those comments. And if you need some help in something I didn't cover, I can certainly give you that help as well in the comments or through direct communication if you'd like. I do appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And if you did enjoy this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. I'm covering all topics on how to start a home-based or a small business, get yourself up and running. I'm covering hundreds of topics. The channel is new. I've been starting with the website because every new business today does need to have a website. But if you do have any suggestions of videos you'd like to see, I can certainly tackle that for you as well. And it doesn't take me too long to put these together, so I'd be happy to do that. So please subscribe. Please give me that thumbs up down below there. Consider hitting that bell, which will give you notification of new videos as I post them. Maybe share the video for those that are thinking of starting a website. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Okay, good luck in your new store.